Hello, everybody. I'm back, and I'm back to do another react to another reading by the lovely, the talented Sunburst Tarot. So I just reacted to a reading that she did about Foodie Beauty, and now it's time to move on to a reading that covers a lot of people that are circling around Foodie, such as family members and he who shall not be named, and Salah. So, in this reading, Sunburst Tarot covers a variety of different people about Chantal, like how they feel about her, and the insight is absolutely wonderful. Hope you guys really enjoy. And if you do, I encourage everybody to check out Sunburst Tarot. Look down below in the description for the original link for the original video. Check out all of her content, all of her videos. Give her a like, give her a sub. Tell her how you enjoy her doing all these wonderful readings on Foodie Beauty and Amberlyn Reed and Girl World, because there's another reading that she's done that's in members only right now, and it has to do with if Foodie and Amber are doing spiritual stuff that they really shouldn't be doing, but that won't be released until later. But in the meantime, I've got this react to do, and I'm very happy to do it with all of you and share my thoughts about what I'm picking up. And so I hope you guys really enjoy. So without further ado, let's get into it, y'all. This is a bit of a longer one because it covers a lot of people. So I hope you guys enjoy, and take it away, Sunburst.
Everyone, and welcome back to Sunburst Tarot, where today we're going to be looking at the Zorro family, and I want to see how they're doing with maybe a potential Foodie Beauty Chantal coming back home for a little bit, to come back to Canada, visit, do what she needs to do. How does her family allegedly feel about her? And maybe her comeback. So I wanted to take a look at that today. So quick reminder, everything I'm saying is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. No facts here, y'all, just my opinions, psychic downloads, and the such. So with that, if you want to use what I'm saying to help form your own thoughts, opinions, and conclusions, please do so. If you don't want to, you don't have to. So with that, let's take a look. One, just generally, how does the family feel about Chantal? I'm so curious.
Me
So
too.
let's see. The Hermit card reversed. Why is this? Because the Temperance card. When she's around, how do they feel about her? It's like you're about to happen, and we want you to kind of stay over there. But also with the Hermit card reversed here, it's like whenever she comes around, she pushes them out of their comfort zone. She pushes them out of their comfort zone. She pushes boundaries. Why is this? Because of the Temperance card. I think they're always trying to placate her emotions a lot of the time, where it's we don't want her to go off. We don't need her to do this. We don't need her to do that. So it's kind of like we need to baby her, essentially, so she doesn't blow up at us or say something or do something that we just really don't want to deal with on a given day. Because from a material sense, how do they feel about her? It's like she's like going off willy-nilly, doing her own thing wherever she wants to do, travel, go to Kuwait, go here, go there. They just see her as like a jet setter, essentially, going all around. However, their hopes and fears here. Chantal, what have you been telling your family about maybe potential legal things going on? Because with the Justice card reversed here, it's like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not. It's like you're trying to get away with stuff. You're trying to avoid accountability. And that's what they see her as doing. Because the unseen obstacle here for the family and how they see her is they think her ego is too much, and she's falling out of favor with them.
So basically, Chantal, they look at you as a problem that you bring other problems. You are one big giant problem that you come home with even more problems. You are essentially a troublesome, what's the right word? You are a troublesome problem that you bring the trouble to their front door, and they don't like it. Their lives are much happier and much calmer when you're not around. And isn't that sad that your family feels that way about you? Your own blood feels that way about you, but that is the environment that you have created. Like you create that awkward, oh God, here she comes energy with your own family, people that you grew up with, people that you love, people that tried to love you. Whenever you come home, you're a problem, you're a burden, and you bring your problems home with you. It's never a pleasant, easy visit of, oh, Chantal's home. Let's sit down and have a cup of coffee and see what's going on with her. It's been a long time since we've seen her. When you come home, it's not like, hey, mom, hi, dad, just dropping in for a visit. I'm going to go and do my thing afterwards and go rent a room and just take care of myself. It's never that easy. It's always you coming home crying and whining and, oh, my life is so horrible. And can I borrow some money? Can I sleep on the couch? You are just one big giant problem that you just bring a whole lot of stress they don't want, they don't need, and they didn't ask for.
It's like you're kind of pushing the boundary here. You're pushing our boundaries. You're trying to push things. We're just like, we don't want to have anything to do with like your stardom or your limelight. Also, has she, I don't know why I'm saying, like, the download of that I get, has she been bragging about the money and her lifestyle and this and that to her family? Because it feels like she's been bragging of some sort. Because the unseen obstacle here, as well as too, is the hanged man. They're starting to see her in a different light. Chantal, I don't know what sort of hypocritical sayings you've been saying to and around your family, but I don't know if this is maybe around your taxes or your back taxes or your bankruptcy, but there's a sense here that's like you've been promoting yourself to be such this jet-setting, wild, traveling diva with all this money and everything around you. However, you haven't been taking care of your bankruptcies or your taxes, and they're like, why are you spending all this money doing all these things and not paying off your debts?
Yeah, you're a walking contradiction, Chantal. If you're going to your family and you're just saying all these things about yourself, my life is so great, I've got all this money. And then at the same time, when you come home, you're crying broke and you need to sleep on the couch. Do you see how your funny would look, your family would look sideways at you and they would give you the funny look and the bombastic side eye? Like on one side, bragging about my life is so great, but then every time you come home, you're not coming home with this thing of, hey, I've got enough money to go rent my own car. I've got enough money to go rent a room for a week. You come home and it's like, hey, mom, dad, can I sleep on the couch? Hey, Aunt Phyllis, can I sleep on your couch? Do you see what I mean? You know, like bragging about a lifestyle that you say you have, but then when you come home, it's a whole different story. So yeah, the family's going to feel a certain way about that.
Because what's going for them? They still care for her. They still care for her with the lover's card. It's like, we still like you or we care for you. However, here in the past with the high priestess, is like we've been ignoring red flags about how Chantal's been operating. Also, I get because here in the future, the emperor, Chantal. I think also here in the future, there's a feeling of Chantal is turning into a very greedy, selfish individual. That's the emperor reverse. It's also like a tyrant, a dictator, someone who is like it's her way or the highway. It's either her way or no way. So that's what they're kind of just seeing generally, I should say, around her family. This is including a bunch of different people of what's kind of going on there. It's like you kind of come in, you do your thing, you essentially are the tyrant of the whole family. Everyone needs to bend their knee to you and into your whims because that's what we need to do to keep the peace. But it's not something like it's not a good way of going with your family. Family is all about give and take, not about just take, 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 take. But alas, again, each person is different. But you know what? I won't want you in my family if that's the way you're going to act. So, now we're going to go into each individual on how they're seeing Chantal. So let's see how each family member feels about Chantal. We're going to go first with Chantal's mom. How does Chantal's mom feel about Foodie, about Chantal? What is that relationship? So we're going to put Chantal on the on the left, person on the right, and then the energy in between. So, or you should say, we'll just do how does the person feel? Sorry, in the middle. So let's take a look here. What's going on? How does Chantal's mom feel about Chantal? Page of Cups, you're always gonna be my little baby. You're gonna be my little girl. You're my child. You're my first one who pushes her boundaries. Who pushes her boundaries, who pushes her out of her comfort zone, who, because from a material sense, she sees Chantal as so unbalanced and needing so much help. Like, she's always going to be her baby, yes, but it's like this child pushes her. I get the sense of, Chantal, you're 40 years old, but you act like a toddler. I have to regulate your emotions. I have to regulate myself around you. I never know what's going to set you off. I never know what's going to make you mad or get you sad or manipulative or hurt my feelings, because she wants you home. It's like, oh, hopes and fears is the Four of Wands. Like, I want you home, but like, you're a part of the family. I want you committed. I want you here. But at the same time, like, it's a sense of like, I have to walk on eggshells around you and I have to regulate your emotions for you. Because the unseen obstacles here, it's like the Six of Pentacles. Hold on. With the
You know what, Chantal? You have the love of your mother, but you are also abusing the motherly love, the mother-child bond. You are abusing it. You're taking advantage of it. You are manipulating it. And that is just evil. If you're looking at your own mom and saying to yourself, I am this person's child, they gave birth to me. And because I am their child, they're going to feel a certain way, and I can manipulate that certain way. I can manipulate those feelings. I can manipulate my own mother just because she is my mother. Because we have that blood tie. That's horrible. That you have your mom in your life and she loves you, but even that kind of love you are abusing and you don't fully appreciate. You just look at it as another resource. That's what I'm being told right now. You look at it as just another resource to getting what you want. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. And as I remember, Chantal, when your dear departed grandmother was around, I heard that you abused that too, that you were taking money from grandma. And you kept doing it until someone in the family put their foot down and stopped it from happening. And then after that, you weren't spending as much time around grandma anymore. So you were abusing that bond as well. You're not cherishing the fact that you have family members to talk to, people that you grew up with, people that honestly care about you. You just look at them as just additional resources, things to manipulate, people to lie to. That is so sad.
opposing energy here. Chantal, you're pushing your luck.
Yep.
You're also pushing your mom's boundaries. With the Six of Pentacles here, there's something that there's money that you've been given, essentially, it feels like, from her, that you have, like, you need to repay back to her. That you
Chantal, it seems like everybody that you know, you owe. Everybody around you, everybody you know, you owe. Even your own family. And that, my dear, is what leads to bridges being burned. When you use up everybody around you and you do not do right and pay back debts that you owe, and you tell a bunch of lies, and that's all you give them is a bunch of lies and empty promises, that will lead to burned bridges that you can't cross again, even when it comes to family.
You said you were going to repay back to her. This was an agreement, whether verbal or not. This was an agreement. Is she co-signing for a car for you? Is that kind of what's going on here? Because there's like a co-signee or something going on where someone is having to co-sign with you, and I don't know if it's your mom, but with the opposing energy here, it's the Ace of Cups. This is your last shot. If you F this up, this might be the end of a relationship, because the positive energy here is the Four of Cups. Your mom wants to mend a relationship with you. She wants to be able to give to you. She wants to, like, there's an offer out there and she wants to build a relationship with you. However, you've been a dictator in the past. You've dictated what she can and can't do, can and can't say, go here, go there, do this, do that, make this, do that. Like, there's been a dictator type of energy, it feels like, when it comes to mama, to Chantal's mom. It's like, Chantal, you've been a dictator. You dictate everything that's going on around here. And I don't have the money to give you. The Ten of Pentacles. Like, I don't have money to give you.
Yeah, you need to understand that, Chantal. Just because you got a mom and a stepdad does not mean it's the bank of mom and stepdad. And you could just keep making withdrawals whenever you want. I mean, they have their own lives. They got their own bills and rent to pay for. They can't just front you money whenever you screw up. At some point, you got to grow up and put your big girl panties on and deal with life. You know, pay back the money that you owe if you owe it.
Chantal's looking for money, like, you have to pay your mom back. You have to. You're going to have to pay your mom back. She doesn't have the money to spend on you. She doesn't have that. She'll co-sign with you, but she does not have the money to give you.
So sorry about that. My alarm went off on my phone. Let's go back a couple of seconds to capture that. My apologies again.
She doesn't have the money to spend on you. She doesn't have that. She'll co-sign with you, but she does not have the money to give you, is what I'm seeing here. And that's how it's kind of feeling like. It's like, I think Chantal also owes Mama Sorrel money, in my opinion. This wasn't a gift that was given to you, Chantal. This was a loan that was given to you that you promised to pay back, and you're walking on thin ice, is what I'm kind of seeing here. Additional information. Yeah, the Knight of Pentacles is like, you're continuing to grow, like you said. However, I don't know if the stepdad likes Chantal, but with this King of Cups reverse, it's giving me like, mom wants to continue doing stuff. However, stepdad over here is like, he's not happy, it feels like. But there's also a sense of Chantal's been manipulating her mom to get what she wants, like she always has. And the solution or the advice here for Mama Sorrow is to just walk away from a situation that just doesn't serve you anymore. If it's going to be the same shit over and over and over again, like, why do you keep doing it? Just saying. That's what I'm feeling.
It sounds like if stepdad were not in the picture at all, Chantal would just go on using and abusing the motherly love over and over again, and mom would never stop her from doing it. But maybe because stepdad is in the picture, he's a bit of a block. He's not so much of a pushover. He doesn't have the same bond with Chantal, therefore she cannot abuse him in the same way that she abuses her own mother.
And for Mama Sorrow, Chantal, you owe her money. I would pay her back and not still keep doing this jet setting shit.
Yeah, because if you owe your stepdad and your mom money and you're in Kuwait right now, which you are, and if you're looking to come home, if you owe them money and you're coming back and you're like, mom, stepdad, I need a place to stay. Can I sleep on the couch? Like they're gonna have feelings about that. The fact that you owe money, you've not paid them back the money, and then they're also having to take care of you on top of that.
All right, let's take a look at Aunt Phyllis. How does Aunt Phyllis feel about Chantal?
Yeah, of all of Foodie's family members, I've heard that Aunt Phyllis is the one that Foodie gets along with the best, talks to the most.
What's kind of going on there?
Although the last time that Chantal was in Canada, something happened. And I think I know what. I think when Chantal went home to Canada, the agreement was that no one would know that she was at the aunt's house. The agreement, I feel, was no live streaming at the aunt's place. And yet, that's exactly what Chantal did. She broke the rule. She live streamed from the aunt's place, and we could tell by the decorations on the wall that it was Aunt Phyllis's place, and that was revealed. And I'm sure that led to a whole lot of problems and a whole lot of discord between Chantal and the aunt.
How does Aunt Phyllis feel about Mama, about Miss Chantal? Which going on here, you see? What is going on? How does Aunt Phyllis feel about Chantal? Knight of Cups. With the moon. She knows Chantal's hiding stuff. Chantal's told her things. Or Chantal's alluded to things. Oh, wait. Material influences. Okay. So what I'm getting here. So I think the last time that Chantal was home, one of the last times Chantal was home, she stayed with her Aunt Phyllis, right? And what I'm getting here is she offered a place to stay for Chantal. Okay. However, when Chantal was at her Aunt Phyllis's place, even though Chantal might have had her own room or her own space to be away from people and her things, Aunt Phil has a sneaking suspicion that things were being hidden from her. There was work Chantal did at Aunt Phyllis's house, or Aunt Phyllis's place, that Aunt Phyllis was not told about, but Aunt Phyllis is no dummy. She knows adult fun time work when she hears it or sees it. Because hopes and fears here, it's like Aunt Phyllis is like, because that's not the Knight of Wands for us. It's like, that's some, we have some wands and some weird, you're being kind of a little bit all over the place, messy. Yeah. Because the hopes and fears here, it's like, Chantal, I just want you to be successful in whatever you're trying to do. So do I think this was like really nasty, sort of like weird stuff that Chantal was doing for work? No, but Chantal, Aunt Phyllis knows adult fun time work when she sees it. Don't know why, I'm just picking that up. Because the unseen obstacles is like, Aunt Phil also sees Chantal trapped in whatever she's in. She's like, Chantal, you're trapped in that world. You need to get out of that world. But she's like, you're trapped. Aunt Phil sees Chantal trapped in a world that she's like, you probably shouldn't be there. Oh, because the opposing energy here as well for Aunt Phil, how she feels. It's like, Chantal, you need to stop playing around with this shit. You got other things to figure out. You got your bills to pay. You got your bankruptcy to pay. You have legal stuff coming down the pipeline that you need to be taking care of. Make good choices, get good karma. Make bad choices, get bad karma. And that's what I'm thinking Aunt Phil is seeing with Chantal, where it's like, honey, you're trapped and yeah, karma or justice is coming to get you the more you keep doing this stuff. Like, because the positive energy, ooh. Uh-oh. Because Chantal, who did you shit talk? Who did you shit talk to about Aunt Phil?
Uh-oh. Bad manners, Chantal. Very bad manners. If you went home to Canada and you were staying with the aunt, the one that likes you, the one that you talk to, and you were crap talking about her, ooh, that's just bad manners.
Ten of Swords, this is a backstabbing and a betrayal. It's like, Chantal, you backstabbed me. You betrayed me. Did she leak information about Aunt Phil or say something about Aunt Phil? And now people started going to real life to Aunt Phil.
I think it had to do with the last time she was there. And I feel that the agreement was that no one could know where she was staying. And I think part of the agreement was, Chantal, if you stay with me, you cannot go live on YouTube. It is forbidden for you to go live on YouTube from my house. And yet she did precisely that. And it took less than 5 minutes for everybody to figure out where she was. And I think that made Aunt Phyllis very, very, very upset.
It's like, you backstabbed, you betrayed me, you brought this upon me. Because here in the past, the Ten of Cups, it's like, yeah, I don't want you to be a part of my family right now. I was there. It's like, okay, I'm going to try and reach out the olive branch. I'm going on my own healing journey. But here in the future, the Seven of Cups. Oh, how does she feel about Foodie? Foodie, you got... Chantal, you have a bunch of different options in front of you. Like, go to one of those. Go. You have options available to you. Just choose one and go. You can... She's like, you have other options. Don't come to me.
Ooh, another burn bridge. Do you see how that works, Chantal? You being who you are on YouTube led to what? It led to everything with Music Biz Marty and all the trouble that you brought to your family, to the point where they forbid you from live streaming in their house. And then when you went to Canada, and then you went to your aunt's house, and she told you, no live streaming here, ma'am. Absolutely not. You did just the opposite. And then you two found out that you were there. And I'm sure she got contacted and she got angry. And if she has forbid you from staying there again, that's another burn bridge. So you can't live stream at your family's house, and you can't live stream from your aunt's house. I mean, you're running out of bridges to cross. Do you see? You are isolating yourself on your own little island where nobody wants to be, because they don't want any part of your chaos and your madness.
Chantal's like been running through her family members. It
Yep.
seems like her family is not. Ugh. Phil doesn't want her around, and because she's like, you were doing shit under my roof that you didn't tell me about, and now I'm facing consequences for it by weird people contacting me. Is what it feels like. So Phil's not happy. Aunt Phil isn't happy. Aunt Phyllis. Okay. So next we're going to take a look at, how does Chantal's sister see Chantal? How does she see her? What's that relationship like? Especially with this impending alleged maybe trip back to Canada. How does that feel? Let's see. How does her sister see her? She sees Chantal as lazy. She's got a lot of issues that she hasn't worked on when it comes to love, relationships, and the such. When it comes to Chantal's sister, she does see Chantal as someone who's deeply traumatized, who has deep set traumas. about love, relationships, and other people. But she's also I just keep hearing you're a lazy fuck. Whoops, sorry, French, but you're just lazy because their hopes and fears here is the Knight of Swords. I just want you to leave. I want you to go take your sword otherwheres. I want you to go fly. I want you to fly somewhere else. So it's like, I think she's like hopes and fears here. It's like, I just want you to go somewhere else. I don't want you here because the unseen obstacles, though, is the Three of Wands. There's going to be a change of plans. Chantal has a change of plans, and that's kind of the unseen obstacle here. It's like, oops, change of plans. I gotta come back, or I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Because ooh. Nat sees right through Chantal. Or her sister, I should say, sees right through Chantal. She sees, ooh. Because she's like, Nat, it's like, I just don't want you here, but Foodie's coming back. I'm just kind of seeing that here with the Fool card. I don't know when she's coming back. I'm here. It feels like we're having, like, I need to be out of Kuwait by May. I need to be out of Kuwait by May. I don't know if that's when a lease goes up or something along those lines, but like Foodie's coming back. It seems like I have to be back by May. Don't know why. Whatever. But with the Fool card here, she's coming back and she's lying her way and manipulating her way to come back into the family, into the fold, and Nat seeing this kind of, because like, I don't care. Nat does not care about Chantal. It seems like it's like, I'm going to let bygones be bygones. I'm going to let I'm going to get rid of this burden, restructure it, keep doing the new things. However, here in the future, for how does you see, it's like, you're just and I hate it to say this, but it feels like, Chantal's sister just sees this as like, you're just running on borrowed time at this point. You're running on borrowed time. Like, you don't work on yourself. I just want you to leave, go fly somewhere else. And it's like, I feel like there's been times where Chantal has been like, yeah, I'm not going to come back. I got other plans. But remember, there's a change of plans coming in. And that's what Nat's not seeing is, oh, there was a change of plans and I now have to come back. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Jesus. Because over here, the Queen of Swords again, there's Foodie manipulating, lying her way to do things. Yep. The solution for Nat here would be to just be like, okay, I'm keeping to myself and the such. Again, that's what I'm kind of seeing. It's how does she see her sister? How does Chantal's sister see her? It's like you are manipulative, greedy, unemotional, bitch, in my opinion. I don't know.
Doesn't sound like your sister has good feelings for you, Foodie. But then again, you caused that to happen just by the way you behave. You're not a good person. And people see through you more than you want them to. Especially family members. They can see through you pretty good. And I'm getting the sense from these readings that Sunburst is doing, I'm getting the feeling of, Chantal, we love you, but we love you more when you're far away. Because when you're close, it's really hard to love you. Like, you really make it hard to love you. When up close, you are a burden. You are a problem. You are walking chaos on 2 feet. You are temperamental. You're prickly in personality. You blow up. You have temper tantrums. We can't stand all of that. So we can love you better when you're far away. Up close, you're a problem. You bring the problems with you. You become a problem. You become a burden to the family. And we don't like that. We don't like it at all. You know, like the problems that you bring to the family, Chantal, the lack of care, it really wears on people.
If she'd ever say that to Chantal's face, yeah, she has. But yeah, it's like, you're just lazy. Get your shit together. Okay. Now, we're going to look at James, aka Pete. So I just put out a video about him, just a video to him, but I want to take a look into his feelings around Foodie particularly, and to what he's kind of feeling, How is that? How does he really feel about her? What are her thoughts about her? So, let's see. The Hanged Man. Ooh, I'm liking this. How does he see his world shifted about Foodie? I'm seeing things from a new perspective about her, and I'm gonna have to rethink my plans, my game plan, my action, my next steps. Because for the Knight of Swords, it's like I have different opinions, I have different things. Pete, are you coming online and actually talking about things? Are you actually going to talk about your time with Chantal?
Ooh. Is he going to drop some tea for us? You know, if he does decide to do that, if he decides to just sit down and make videos and just spill it, even just a little bit, I think we can all agree with everything we know about Pete and Chantal, it wouldn't be a spite thing. It would be a you deserve this thing. I mean, she's put him in debt. She's taken his money. I heard that when she left the villa in Canada, because his name was on the lease and hers was not on the lease, she left him with a $5,000 bill for damages to the villa, because there were quite a lot in damages, and I'm sure he got the bill and she did not, and she did not give him the money to pay for that. She's broken his heart. She's cheated on him. She's done him so much wrong. So if he decided to get on YouTube and let some stuff out, it would be a you deserve all of this, Chantal. I keep hearing it would be also very cathartic for him to let some of that stuff out. He's been pushing a lot of stuff down for a lot of years, and it's doing him no good. He needs to let it out somewhere with somebody, maybe in therapy, maybe talking to a therapist or a counselor. He needs to let that stuff out. I don't like Pete's. I don't like what he did to BBJ, his attitude towards her. In my opinion, I feel like the anger that he showed BBJ, that was really meant for Chantal. It was him being angry at Chantal, but he was just too scared and cowardly to step up and say what he really felt and stand up for himself. But putting that aside for just a second, getting back into my tarot brain, he needs to let some of this stuff out. Either let it out or let it go. But he doesn't need to keep it inside of him. But if his mind is shifting around for whatever reason, I think that's a good thing.
Or I should say, not your time with Chantal, but your time, not about your time, but you're going to be talking about things that Chantal has maybe allegedly done. Maybe. But it feels like because with the Ace and Knight of Swords in the material sense, it's like I want to talk. I want to do action. I want to move. I want to change things up. Because the hopes and Pete, James isn't going to let Foodie go. I don't think he wants to. It's just, I want to have her in my life. I want excitement. I want to move. I want to change. I want to go different places. However, her coming in is just going to cause a tower moment. It's going to cause a collapse. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be like she comes in like a wrecking ball and then leaves. It's a Seven of Swords. She's being sneaky. She's being manipulative when it comes to what she's trying to do with him. The positive energy, though, there's a glimmer of hope in this. It's like there is an offer, there is money, there is like the start of something new that comes from this, because the past events, gosh. So when it comes to Chantal, how does Pete feel or James feel about Chantal? It's he wants her, he likes the excitement. However, there's a change here of like how I see you. And this is, I think, the struggle for him is like, how do I see, like, he sees her in a brand new light, but it's like he can't let go of the old. He sees her and he knows it's bad, but he still is like a moth attracted to the flame.
I think I understand. Pete, if you're looking at Foodie as excitement and movement in your world, there's other places to find it. There's other people that can give it to you. You may not have met them yet, but they are out there. There is happiness out there for you. You just have to go get it. You're reaching for Foodie because that's all you know. You're reaching for the familiar because you know it. But what you should be doing is looking at her and saying, she's the wrong kind of excitement. She's the wrong kind. Because with that excitement comes trouble, problems, chaos, negative energy, these things you don't need and that you don't want. There is a price to pay for that kind of excitement. And trust me, you will pay. You've paid before, haven't you? You paid the price for her kind of excitement. There is a toll and you must pay it. She cheated on you with multiple people. She broke your heart more than once. She put you in debt. She ruined your credit. She left you with a huge bill from the Canadian villa because she made sure her name was not on the lease, your name was on the lease. $5,000 for damages. Wouldn't you agree? That's a very expensive price to pay for excitement. I would think so. Is it worth it to have that kind of excitement in your life? Is it really worth it when there's so much more happiness and joy and excitement and warmth and new adventures, new people that are out there? They won't ask as much to be around them. You won't have to pay a heavy toll like you do with Chantal. Exploration. You need some exploration in your life. You need to explore. You need to get out. You need to talk to people. You need to do things. You need to get out of that room. Walk around. Make friends. Go places. Tell Foodie to piss off. You really do need to tell Foodie to piss off. It would do you a lot of good if you did. Because if you don't, and you keep her around, you know what's going to happen. It always happens.
Knows things are going to be bad. He knows this is going to be bad, but he's hoping for something new to start here. It's like, I wanted to marry her. I wanted to be in a committed relationship with her. I wanted something traditional. However, the Five of Swords, that's just not going to work.
Pete's, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And what you're expecting from Chantal, it's the equivalent of relationship insanity. You're wanting a wonderful thing with a not wonderful person, someone that you've done this dance with multiple times and it never worked. She's never changed. She's not a different person than what she was before. In fact, she's worse. So if she's not improved herself, if she is not taken in accountability, there's no self-awareness, there's no her coming to you and expressing true regret and remorse about the way she treated you, the cheating, the lying, the taking of your money. If she's not truly sorry for what she's done, she has not grown as a person. And she's exactly the way that you know her to be. which would lead to the same result if you tried this relationship crap with her. Even on a roommate level, you know what you're in for. You know exactly what you're in for, dummy. So don't sign up for it. Don't sign that contract. The last reading the Sunburst Tarot did on you, whatever debts, whatever karmic debts or other debts that you and Foodie have between each other, it's over. She can try to guilt trip you all she wants. You owe her nothing, but you owe yourself everything. So it's time to go get it. She needs to grow up. She needs to realize that she can't just get herself into messes and rely on other people to bail her out. She needs to stop using other people as parachutes and make her own. Stop being her doggone parachute. Stop being her doormat. Stop being back pocket Pete's. Fail safe Pete's. Fall back Pete's. That's exactly how she sees you. She doesn't care about you. She cares what she can get out of you. She only cares about you when she needs something or when she's in a desperate situation that she's put herself in. That is your only use. She doesn't care about you. You need to get it through your head.
He has to go through, I think, this last, I'm hearing third time's the charm. It's going to be take 3 different iterations of this cycle with him to, I think, transform and kind of spread his wings and then fly away from this. Because the additional information, 6 of Pentacles. She's going to take more than what she gives in this relationship, because she's going to be a manipulative, greedy, naive, bitch, and he's still stuck on the fence with this. Again, it's like when I'm looking at James, when he's looking at Chantal, there are days where it's 70-30, some days it's 30-70, some days it's 60-40. He's kind of in this indecision-ish phase about her of what should I do. Because, like, on one hand, there's a bunch of people around him who are, I shouldn't say a bunch of people, but there's a point of, like, he has a couple people that he might talk to that give him really good advice. And those are the days where it's like, I'm not going to go back to her. And then she'll message him again. And then it's like, maybe this wasn't so bad. And then he goes back and forth, back and forth. He's going through a yo-yo phase right now with Chantal is good, Chantal is bad. Chantal is good, Chantal is bad. And when someone's got their hooks so deeply into you, like, it's really hard for those hooks to get detached, and it's painful when they do get detached. So that's what I'm kind of feeling here with Pete's.
I'm getting this nursery rhyme in my head right now. I don't know why it's there. It's a silly nursery rhyme, but it might pertain to what's going on here. There was a little girl who had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. And when she was good, she was very, very good. But when she was bad, she was horrid. So it is with Chantal. When she's good, she's very, very good. But when she's bad, she's horrid. You know, she's good when you take her in short bursts, Pete's. But when she's around full time, she is horrid.
Okay. I mean, might as well. We got the whole Canada crew. How's Mr. Koki? How is he feeling about Chantal right now? Because we're going through everyone in Canada, so might as well go with the whole family. Let's just go with the whole Canadian cast, essentially. How's the Canadian cast feeling about Chantal in the current? How is that going? How does Koki feel about Chantal? 3 of Cups. They're still talking. Emotional bonds. 3's a crowd. He's got her as a 3rd. Why? Because she's giving him money, nurturing him, giving him things, and the such. So whatever money allegedly that Chantal seems to be making, a lot of it is going to Mr. Cookie.
And isn't that horrible? Isn't that horrible? That earlier in this reading, Sunburst Tarot revealed Chantal owes money to mom. I would think the first person she needs to pay would be her mom because that's her family. But where is her money going? Natter. And those of you on my channel that I've done readings on Natter, I've been telling you guys, she's been giving him money. Here's further confirmation. She's sending him money. But Chantal, you're horrible. If you owe your family money, if you owe your mother money, and you're not paying your family, but you're sending money to this dude, shame on you. What's more important here? Natter or your family? I would think your family would come first before anybody because you're going to need them. You're going to need help with many different things. And if you burn that bridge, you will not be able to go to your family and ask for help. Because once a bridge is burned, it's burned. But you're more concerned with keeping this bridge going than the one with your own family. Like, what is wrong with you?
Because, however, the material influences here, she hasn't been able to give him as much as of late.
Not because she's broke. She broke. Either she's broke or she's just going hog wild with the food. And she is going hog wild with the food ever since she got the keys to the sherry and she's going out and getting food whenever she wants. She's spending more money on food than she ever has. She's having more bee moments than she ever has. So I'm sure he isn't getting a whole lot of money.
Hasn't been able to give him as much money as of late. So he's kind of going through like a morning when it's like, oh shit, I can't get that money no more. I can't get those resources, that material goods. The hopes and fears. Okay. So for Mr. Koki, when it comes to Chantal, he's ready for her to come back. He's ready for her to come back and I think have more control over him, or her, I should say. Because down here is the unseen obstacles, though, to him. There's another person who's funding her.
Anime.
Who has control over her. Because the opposing energy to this as well, it's like, Chantal is it almost feels like has moved on from him. In a way. Moved on completely, no, because they're still talking, there's emotional ties. He'll just reel her back in. But he doesn't have the control that he used to. He wants her, but he wants her back so he can get more direct control over her, because from a distance, the distance part for him, he knows it's weaker. She gets more control. Her being closer, he gets more control.
Right. Because she's been in Kuwait for almost 3 years. And she's been infatuated with Salah. She's thousands of miles away. How can he have the influence over her if she's not even in the same country as he? Although even thousands of miles away, it still sounds like they're talking and he's still getting money out of her. And I think on a small level, he liked that because he could still get what he wanted out of Chantal without dealing with her physically in the flesh. But because she's so far away, he can't get as much. So again, Chantal, dealing with somebody that it's not about them loving you, it's about what they can get out of you. What they get out of you determines your worth to them. If they can't get anything out of you, then you're worth nothing to them.
positive energy for him. This will never be revealed. This won't be revealed. It won't come to light. Because here in the past, the Knight of Wands, we're taking our wand all over town. And in the future, the Five of Wands.
Do y'all see this crazy 8 that's going on here? It just hit me. Let me just lay it out for y'all. So here we have Chantal, who is a liar, a scammer, a manipulator. She uses everybody around her. She uses her family. She's used and hurt her friends, guys that she's been in relationships with. She's had a whole lifetime of lying and manipulating and leaving a trail of hurt behind her, which leads to her hooking up with not one, but 2 guys that end up lying and manipulating and hurting her and taking her for all her money. Which also further leads to her meeting someone that's just as diabolical and obsessive as she is. Someone just as wrathful that has pushed her into the ultimate corner of, you better do what I say or else. Like, she has met someone a lot like her that he plans on using her for a great many things. The crazy 8 is complete.
He's banishing the beast. So there's a point coming up here where he's gonna make a stand. It feels like with Chantal. I don't know. This won't be public, but he's gonna be able to make a stand with her and banish the beast from his life. That's the energy I'm kind of feeling, because it's like someone else is taking his place. Someone took his place, so he's like, fine, have her. That's your decision. That's your thing. Who's going to be making money on her? And I think he sees it, and he's like, okay. He's not falling for her game of like, oh, fight for me, fight for me. Nah, he's not playing that game with her.
She likes to do that. She likes to triangulate between men. She likes to have men fighting over her. Here's the deal, Chantal, these men that you want fighting over you, they don't love you. They don't love you. The only person I feel that even cared about you was Pete, and look what you did to him. Look at the way you treated him. Look at the way you still treat him. You don't love Pete. You don't really love him. You're not in love with him. You'll never be in love with him ever again. He was just a mountain that you had to conquer, and now that you conquered it, it's not a challenge. And the only place that you give him in your life is in your back pocket for safekeeping in case you need him for something. That's as much as you'll think about when it comes to Pete. But you want Natter to fight over you. He don't care. You want Salah to fight over you. He don't care. They don't care. They care about your money. You run out of money, they don't care. You're not even making that much anymore to fight over. Because these sugar babies that you got hooked up with, they consider the amount of money you offer, but then they also consider how much of a burden and a problem you are. And they look at the whole thing and go, you ain't paying me enough money to put up with all of you. Because you are a walking problem. You are just crazy in your ways. You are jealous. You are controlling. You're a tyrant. I can't deal with it. You're draining. There ain't enough money here to keep me happy, to make me tolerant of all of this. You ain't making the money you used to make. You used to make good money on YouTube, but those days are long over. So, no, Natter is not going to fight over you. He doesn't have to. He's got a soft place to land in Dee Dee, staying with her. He's not going to give up that stability for all of your instability. Oh no, he's not that dumb. He's a scammer and a liar and he's evil just like you, but he ain't stupid. He's not going to give up his secure thing for an insecure thing. So yeah, he's going to let Anime have you. He's going to say, take her off my hands. She still likes me, but if you want her just that bad, you have at her. She's not worth fighting for. He don't care enough to fight for you.
He wants her closer, sure, but he's not going to play the game with her and other people.
No.
He wants to just if it's Pete's, sure, he'll know. It's like, yeah, but if she has to fight with someone, maybe like, I don't know, Anime sucks, he's not going to. He's like, no. So, okay. So we got that. Dee Dee, I think, just hates her guts. So we're going to go with the last member. I think most people would be really interested is, how does Chantal's stepfather see Chantal? How does Chantal's stepfather see Chantal? Let's take a look-see here. The High Priestess upright. Why? Oh yeah, stepdad's in mom's ear.
Good. I'm actually glad about that. There needs to be a block from Chantal just using people left and right, including her own mother. She used her grandmother for money, and it sounds like she's doing the same thing to mom. There needs to be a block. So if stepdad, is in mom's ear saying, no, it needs to happen. Otherwise, she'll continue going on using her mom over and over, manipulating her over and over until something stops it.
Okay, with stepdad. Stepdad is, which is interesting. How does stepdad see Chantal? He sees Chantal as someone, he can see right through her and her motivations and what's wrong. I also think he sees her and why she's being this global jet-setting person with the world. He sees why she's doing things. He sees why Chantal is doing the things that she's doing and how she's doing it. And he just sees right through her, I think. Because, like, up here from a material sense, he's showing up, King of Cups. He's like, I don't want to give you money. But I'll give you advice. I'll give you words of wisdom. I'll give you words to help you through things, but I don't want to give you money. He wants to give you more he has tried, I think, in the past to be an emotional person with Chantal. He has. Chantal has not had it. Chantal doesn't want that. Her stepdad, though, I do think at one point, and I still think to this day, he does feel like, yeah, no, Chantal, I just want you to be balanced. I just want you to have a good equal give and take. Because down here, the unseen obstacle is he does love her, which I think people might be shocked at hearing. But I do think her stepdad actually likes her to a point. I don't think he sees all the issues that Chantal has. And I think he just wants her to get help. But he's not going to enable her behavior.
Yay! Dad's got his head on straight.
He doesn't enable her. He doesn't.
And that's part of her problem. She's got far too many people that are enabling her, kissing up to her, being her yes men, people who won't tell her the truth or hold her accountable. She needs that. She needs more people holding her accountable. She needs more people around her that say, hey, you get yourself into a pickle. You got to get yourself out. It's not my job to fix you. It's not my job to rescue you. At some point, young lady, you're going to have to learn to rescue yourself. And I think you're almost 41, this would be a good time to start learning. Because if you don't learn now, you'll never learn. You got to get it sometime. Might as well start now. If you fall, fall. If you fall flat on your face, fall flat on your face. If it hurts hard enough, if it's painful enough, you'll learn not to do that again, whatever it was. So here's a screwed up thing, Chantal. And you're really going to hate me saying this. This might cut close to the bone. You got daddy issues. Your real father is not in the picture. That's none of my business. But I think deep, 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 deep down, you want a father's love. You've been longing for, craving it. You want a father's love. And your real father, you guys don't have a close relationship. I think you want that, but it's not available to you. But still, there's that wanting of a father's love. And you, ma'am, you have been running around to all different kinds of men, not just seeking a woman-man relationship with intimacy. You've been trying to get them to act as a father would. You want those same kind of feelings. Here's some information for you. You can't find a father's love in a man who does not act like a fatherly figure. And a fatherly figure, you don't have intimacy with. You don't have intimate thoughts. There's no intimacy of any kind. You've been trying to turn the men in your life into not just boyfriends and potential husbands, but also acting like a weird surrogate daddy. It can't happen. Too many hats, one head. You got to pick one. If you have someone in your life that's a fatherly figure, then they have to function as a fatherly figure. Someone who you can go to, talk to, get advice. Someone you don't have any sexual anything with. They are just there as a male figure that can give you fatherly advice from a fatherly point of view. But you can't go running around going to men, looking for men who are dominant, that you want to feel protected by, and they'll take care of everything, trying to turn them into daddy. Inappropriate. Never going to work. Too many hats, one head. But you do have a stepdad who, if you opened up to him, could function as that fatherly figure. Even though he's not your real father per se by blood, he could be that fatherly figure that maybe you have been seeking all along. I'm just saying.
Which I think pisses Chantal off, which is why I think she pushes back against him. Because over here with the opposing energy, greedy and selfish. He sees her as someone who is greedy and selfish and just takes, and doesn't give back. He also has felt backstabbed, betrayed. She also shit talked about him when he has probably been nothing but nice to her and wanting her to do the best that she can and pushing her to be the best version of herself.
And Chantal, that's very odd. If this, I don't know the relationship between you and your stepdad. Again, none of my business. I'm not in your business. One moment. Okay, let's continue.
Because also here in the past, he also has issues with her bankruptcy and the things, and like he gave really good advice, I think, to help her get out of that situation and help her walk through it. But here's the thing, she did not listen. Because here in the future, the Ace of Pentacles, upright when it comes to how does he view Chantal and everything. I do think she owes her step parents money. She just does. She owes her mom money. She owes her stepdad money. She owes them money. So it's like, you need to repay us back. We aren't going to let you get away with this. Like, this is an equal give and take or an exchange. Stepdad, again, was not, because the additional information here is with the Hermit upright, which is, okay, we're feeling a little bit isolated, but I just want to light the way for you. The obstacles is the Four of Cups, though. Chantal doesn't want it. Chantal refuses. Just refuses flat out. As a solution here, though, is the Six of Wands of her dad, which is kind of like, okay, fine. I'm just going to go. He's ready to take action on something, it feels like. Whatever
Uh-oh, what could that be?
Chantal has done, he's ready to take action for things that she has potentially done. She's he just wants to hold her accountable, is what it's seeming like. He just wants to hold her accountable. This is what I'm seeing is like pretty good parenting. It's like, I don't want you to raise to be a spoiled brat. I just want to hold you accountable for your actions and go from there.
You know, I think it's too late to change Chantal from being a spoiled brat into something completely different. That's just me. But I wonder what dad has in mind for doing something where he holds her accountable. Does that mean talking to mom and telling mom not to give her more money? I wonder.
And Chantal, this man does love you. This man does want to have a relationship with you, but he's not going to enable you. He's not going to treat you like the child that you want him to. He's going to treat you like the adult that you are, one. And two, he's not, he'll help you, but he's not going to help, he's not going to bail you out. But
I just had a thought. Follow me here. You know what, Chantal? I think you want everyone to kind of see you as a child and treat you as a child. Because when you are speaking about a child, there's a lot more grace given to a child than to an adult. So you are your mother's child. She gave birth to you. So she gives you a lot of grace because of that. And you take advantage. Whereas your stepdad doesn't see you as a child. He sees you as an adult making a lot of bad choices and a lot of bad mistakes. And maybe that's why you don't get along with stepdad, because you can't pull the same strings with stepdad that you can with mom. He is wanting to hold you accountable. You don't want to be held accountable. You want to be coddled. He's not going to do that. But if you've been giving money to the wrong people because you like them versus doing what you need to do, which is pay back whatever money it is that you owe your parents, as I said, I think the parents are much more important than anybody else, because you never know when you might need them. Whereas everybody else that is not family, they might come and go, but family is forever. And do you want to burn a bridge with your family?
he will help you get through these situations if you listened to him. I might be getting a little triggered about this because it's very reminiscent about it's a wee bit about me, where like I had a stepfather around the same age that Chantal got a stepfather. And you know what? I listened to him. I might not have always wanted to, but he held me accountable for things, and I think I've turned out pretty damn okay. I'm not some raging lunatic. I'll call it well, how I see it. I'm not some raging lunatic online looking to e-beg for everything that I've got. Like, I'm not some person who wants to go and manipulate everyone around me to enable me and my bad behaviors. Like, if you listened to him and you took those lessons that he was trying to instill in you, you would be just fine if you actually use them. But here's the thing, you didn't want to have anything to do with him, and that's why you need therapy.
Yeah, it's very strange, Chantal. You want a fatherly figure in your life, yet you have one. He may not be your biological father, but he is a fatherly figure. At the same time, you're running around looking for a stranger, complete strange men who don't care about you. They just want to use you for your money. That's their only interest in you is your paycheck. You're looking for them to be the boyfriend and the father. Guess what? You can't do that. You can't give a guy too many hats to wear, like I said. You got to pick one. And if that person is a fatherly figure, that means no personal, intimate involvement whatsoever. Lust isn't even in the picture. It's got to be somebody that they act as a fatherly figure. They give advice. They talk to you. You talk to them. You can go to that person and they will help you. But there's no personal involvement beyond that. You have a person like that in your life that you could go to, but you are absolutely refusing. Why? At this point in your life, what could it hurt? To ask advice, to get advice, to listen to advice. It wouldn't hurt you at all. I mean, how much worse can things be? Could it hurt to listen just once and see how things go? But you really need to undo some of the wrong that you've done to your family. And I'm sure you've done a lot.
Man, this guy does love you. He does genuinely care for you, which I was not expecting to see, but he does, and he just wants to hold you accountable for your actions. So that's what I'm going to read on. That's what I'm going to see. If I missed anyone, or if you guys wanted me to see anything that I kind of missed, just let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your own thoughts, opinions, and conclusions. Otherwise, if you guys would like to leave, I don't know, like the family emoji, there's a couple of them downstairs, or a house, I would really appreciate the engagement. Whether you like, comment, share, it really helps my videos get seen into the algorithm. Otherwise, if you want to follow me on any of my other socials, I am on Twitter. I am on Facebook and TikTok. I'm really not on Facebook and TikTok much, but you can find me on Twitter. So if you want to find me there, you can do so with posts and engagement and all the other things. I'd love to engage. Otherwise, if you want to book a personal reading with me, everything is down below in the description box. Or if you want to see videos like this early, you can join my YouTube members. $3 a month. You get access to a bunch of exclusive readings, member lives, and videos like this. Pretty much, I try and get them out a couple days ahead of time. So if you're interested in any of that, feel free, check it out. Otherwise, thank you so very much for watching today, and I hope to see you guys in more readings in the future. So thank you and bye.
Great reading, Sunburst Tarot. Thank you so much for doing it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed that react. If you have, please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment here. And also don't forget to check out Sunburst Tarot. I'll leave the link for the original video down in the description, like I said. So y'all have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.